One of the reasons you probably bought your Pfaff Creative Icon is for all the fabulous decorative stitches. Pfaff's been known to always have a lot more creative stitches than a lot of the other brands, and that still holds true today. And as you can see by our Pfaff Stitching Cosmos online course, where we do use all the different stitches, it is something I'm passionate myself. And even today, I just needed to kind of play around a little bit. I was trying out some combinations of decorative stitches, seeing what I could come up with, kind of stack my own stitches and play around. This is actually one of the eyelets. Yes, that's an eyelet in this machine, and I was adding it to some of the stitches that were kind of curved and popping them in there. Decorative threads are so much fun to do, but what I want to do is talk about creating a stitch book, and we do have a link below this YouTube video of how and great tips on making a stitch book. Stitch these stitches out. They look so much better on fabric, as you can even see by what I was playing with today, than in your machine. So I'm going to give you just a couple little quick tips about stitching out decorative stitches, and please hop over to the Pfaff Stitching Cosmos online course. See what that's all about. At least do your stitch book. That's a free video. It's one of our 10 free lessons that you can watch, and see that there is so much this machine has potential for. So one of the things I use a lot is the start-stop button. So when you use the start-stop button, the beauty is that you can just sit back and watch the stitch come out and just enjoy how pretty it is and as it goes. As I get close to the end, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to touch the scissor button, and it will finish off the decorative stitch with those locking stitches, with the cut and the lift of the foot. So again, you don't even have to be holding your foot on the foot control. It's so easy. So let's just take a look. We've got a nice little row of decorative stitches. You saw how quick that particular stitch stitched out. Let's just pick something, we'll just pick the next stitch beside it. And usually what I'll do is just line up the edge of the presser foot with the edge of the stitch, and that will get you kind of a nice straight option. So it's something to kind of guide by. So as it stitches, and then again, if the machine is sewing too fast, remember on the side of the machine where your foot control plugs in, there is a speed adjustment. So we can actually slow this down a little bit. So if that feels way too fast for you, find a nice happy speed. This is just so relaxing, trust me. It's something I actually enjoy doing. We do talk about stabilizer. There is some stabilizer under this black fabric, and that is so important. Now you notice that this stitch is taking a lot longer to stitch out, and that's just because it's a bolder stitch. So once again, I'm going to touch that little scissor button, let it finish off the pattern so it's not like a half of a stitch. It locks it there, it cuts it, and so forth. And this, I just stopped a little early just so you could see what we're talking about. So how pretty that stitch is. That one has a lot more detail that is stitched out. And sometimes that's good to know, because as you pick a stitch and you realize, oh my gosh, why did I pick a stitch that is so heavy and so thick? If you would have known that because you had tested it or seen it in your stitch book, you would have maybe picked something that looks just as good but wouldn't have taken as much time on the time it took to stitch. So again, have some fun with your decorative stitches. This was actually a stitch, and then I added some circles and then mirror image that stitch and kind of created a little thing to kind of look like a band. It's a little wavy because I did not have a line drawn, so that's always a helpful hint when you are actually applying decorative stitches to a project. Make sure you have something to guide by, because it doesn't take much to kind of get a little wiggle in a stitch. But have some fun with it. Check out all of our free videos with our Pfaff Stitching Cosmos online course, and maybe I will see you in class soon.